right, welcome back, listener, to the First Brothers podcast. It's your boy Mutsa, back in the cut, joined by my two brothers, Nkosi and Samson. What's goody, brothers? Listener, in this particular episode, we'll be talking about the Copa del Rey final between Barcelona and Real Madrid. The final score, Barca won, they're the champions, they won 3-2. We had goals from Pedri, Ferran Torres, and Kunde, whereas Madrid, we had the boy Mbappe and Chouameni. So, and also the boy Rudiger got a red card at, the very last embers of that game. So anyway, let me check it to the brothers to talk about the El Copa del Rey final and, their thoughts and analysis of the game. So I'll check it to you, Mangoro. How did you find that 3-2 game?
It was a game that started slow, in my opinion, in terms of like just chance creation and the game opening up. But then once it opened up, it became a basketball match where it was now end to end. Like the gaps that we were seeing, especially on, I think both sides. I think there were a number of offsides where in my head I was like, you really shouldn't have been offside there, because if you're not offside, you're on the brink of scoring. I think Rafinha was offside. Vinicius took a ball from Frank Garcia, I think later on in the game. And I was like, come on, man. Like, if you just run in the middle and the guy gets the ball, especially on the Vinicius one, you're literally getting a tap in. But as we know, Hansi Flick likes to play his high line. I think he inspires some guy called Ange Postecoglou. So very, very, very interesting things that are being done there at Barcelona, but it seems to be working because the team looks like the gaps in between the defense and the midfield is very small, so they're able to move together as a unit, which truly helps, especially when they have to like catch teams on an offside trap. And it seems to be working for them because they did come out victorious. When I look at the game as a whole, like I think as you would expect, a game once it goes to extra time, like the quality went down the way went out the window, and the both teams were pretty much tired. But I do want to mention a few players that I think are actually like hindering their teams, or also hindering their teams. I want to start with those. There's a brother that plays there at center back for Real Madrid, number 35, Asensio. I think that brother should be playing at Real Valladolid, owned by Ronaldo, and not at Real Madrid. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he'll cut it there. Another one is Lucas Vasquez. He's a failed winger. It's facts. Plays right back now. I understand he's the club captain and all, but I think they need to move on from him. Now that supposedly Trent is coming, I think that position is now going to be his, although he also has some defensive lapses, but what he can provide you from an attacking perspective is pretty good. When I look at the guy no, not sorry, the guy Asensio, Real Madrid fans, I'm pretty sure, would have been livid with that third goal, because that attempted block there, where he was just stretching out a leg like he's in ballet, that was not on. Like, you literally like less than 5 minutes from a PK shootout, and this is how you're committing to block a shot from Kunde. I understand he's also another fullback. He's a CB by trade, and you don't expect him to score from there. But just put in the work, put in the good tackle, and then see what happens afterwards. But he also was involved in that little skirmish where Rafinha dove. If Rafinha doesn't dive, then he's given away a penalty. So that's why I mentioned that brother Asensio. I don't know if he's good enough to play for Real Madrid. All in all, I think Real Madrid need to look at their balance, especially up front. This Vinny Mbappe thing, Mbappe, I don't think he can play center forward. I think him and Vinny want to occupy the same space on the field on that left-hand channel. And what does that do when you have two players on the left, all one trying to run into the same spaces? The center area is empty, and Rodrigo's out there on an island on the right. That's why they keep on subbing him, because he's alone. There's no one the striker's not coming to support him. And that affects his game, because his game is also predicated on the center forward playing like some 1-2s with him around the corner, playing in the pockets and things like that. But if Mbappe is on the other side of the field, he has to do everything by himself, and he really can't do everything by himself. So it's really unfortunate for the boy. I still do believe that he can contribute quite a bit to Real Madrid. When I come to some of the other brothers there that were doing all sorts of things, there's a brother there called Brahim Diaz. I don't know if I don't know highlight the third goal because, and I mentioned the third goal because it was the match-winning goal. The brother Brahim Diaz, he gets past the ball, it's extra time. You are off the bench. I don't understand how a player who's off the bench can be on his heels in that moment. You were fresh off the bench. How were you on your heels? Like you're supposed to be active, you're supposed to be calling for the ball when the ball comes to you. Because literally when Kunde nicks it from you there, it's now he's through on your goal. Because what does that mean? Your entire when Modric passes the ball forward, your defense and the other midfielders are now moving up and your attackers. And then when you decide to do that lazy thing you did there, it's a turnover. From that turnover, they scored the winner. So it was just not very good on his part. I think when it comes to the Barca side, I think they do have some talent on their books. I'm not gonna go into Lamine Yamal. I think it's been said more than enough. But I do want to highlight the boy there at CB, Kubasi. That guy is quite the talent. I wasn't familiar with his game. Now I'm familiar. I think he's actually quite the talent. Congratulations to him. There was an interesting stat that came out. I don't know if Mata wants to hear it, but Wojciech Szczesny came out of retirement and won a trophy before Harry Kane did. So I don't know what that means, but it happened. So he did well in essence there in the goal. I think there were some chances that I think Real got, and he definitely did pull off some not wonderful saves, but routine goalkeeper saves. I hope Robert Sanchez was watching, but all in all, I think the better team won. Real, I think once Vinny and them went out, it was Hail Mary. Endrick, he needs to go back to Brazil. Like, he needs to go to Brazil and grow up first, and then come back when he's like 2021. Because I think the team, the jersey, I think is suffocating him because the young man is just it's not working hard for him as it stands. So that's how I saw the game. I don't know, Samson, if you saw other aspects that you want to speak to today.
Yeah, very entertaining game. Um, this is one of those games. Like whenever I watch El Clasico, I'm always happy that I never really supported these teams because number one, it can be so toxic. Just like the atmosphere, the the animosity between the players. You saw the animosity with the referees. It can be a nasty game, but it can also be very entertaining. This one was both. This one was nasty and entertaining. And I'm so happy I don't support either of them because, yeah, I can understand fans of both teams were having heart palpitations the whole time. Um, when I look at this game, I think this game for me, it shows the weaknesses both teams have at this current moment. Um, from a Real Madrid perspective, this attack just doesn't work. Um, Mbappe started off the bench, and they basically tried to do what they were doing last season with Rodrigo and Vinicius and Bellingham as like a three, and kind of build from there. And it just none of it worked. Mostly because I thought Rodrigo was pretty horrible. When he went off, I think you saw much livelier Madrid. Um, but yeah, I think they have to rethink their whole attack because I don't think they're getting the best out of their players right now. Mbappe looks more comfortable out on the wing than he does as a nine. He doesn't do things that a nine would do. He likes getting on the ball. He likes dribbling with it. He actually creates a lot more than, you know, you know, a lot more than other nine things you should be doing, like holding up the ball, uh, running in behind, putting pressure on defenses. He doesn't do all that, but give him the ball at his feet and let him dribble. Like he terrifies defenses doing that. So I think they need to figure out something else. Maybe sign a different player, who can be that dual winning guy, that hold up guy. Because yeah, it just doesn't work as it is, and it's impacting everyone because you can see it. When Mbappe is having a good game, Vinicius isn't having a good game. When Jude Bellingham is having a good game, Mbappe's not having a good game. So like these guys, they don't have that third player that's bringing them all together. They kind of have to work on their own. Um, and I think the clearest example of this not working is that Barca were playing Ferran Torres up top. Ferran Torres looked like a better nine than Mbappe. Not that he was any more dangerous. I think Mbappe's, performance was better. But in terms of a nine and what a nine should be doing, like it wasn't much, but if Mbappe even produced some of that, I promise you, the goals would be flowing here because this attack is too good, for for what we end up seeing. Um, and on the Barca side, I think Barca can be very happy with this game because a lot of things didn't go their way. Rafinha missed a lot of chances, chances that this season he's buried without even thinking about it. Um, Obviously, they're missing Lewandowski, but Ferran Torres, I thought he put in a good game. Um, and Pedri, oh my God, man. That guy's phenomenal. That guy is incredible. You know, People talk about Jude Bellingham and like being hardworking and all this stuff. Pedri, I feel kind of in this season where Boss has done well, he's gone under the radar because I think that guy does everything. I think he's solid defensively. I think he works hard. I think he's a great passer. He creates chances. And that goal, to just pull that out, you know, like pass it into the back of the net like that, you can't, you just can't compete with that. So, yeah, I think Barca will be very happy with the way this game has gone, given it could have really gone differently, in my opinion. Like they wasted way too many chances, um, and gave Real a chance when I didn't think Real really had one. And by the way, I know, of course, you already started talking about the Real center backs, but yeah, Asensio, that thing he did with Rafinha, I understand Rafinha dove. That was a Hall of Fame dive, by the way. Hall of Fame. Just give him an Oscar, because wow. If you see it in real time, I thought, like my first thought was, Asensio, you idiot. Why have you done that? And he is still an idiot because if you see the way he lunges at him, it makes no sense. But the way that man sold it, just the timing, the way he rolled over, wow, wow. But he got caught because we live in the age of VAR. So shout out to VAR for making the right decision. But yeah, Real need to invest heavily in center backs, um, and potentially a new left back as well. Uh, Barca, I think, need to invest in one new center back because Martinez, I think it was, on that set piece, yeah, it wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. Um, but yeah, all in all, great game, for the neutrals. Back and forth, had everything. Saw Rudiger for trying to hit the ref with some ice packs. Lovely entertainment. He's gonna be gone for like 5 games for that for sure, but I enjoyed it. That was a really good final.
I was
Can't
surprised.
wait.
He did put out an apology today, actually. I was like, Rudiger apologizing? Either he was put under pressure to apologize or maybe really felt deep in himself like, all right, I think I might have done too much here. Let me send an apology.
Like I can tell you exactly what I could tell you. Florentino Perez showed up to his house in the middle of the night, put gun to his head, and said, "My guy, you are writing this apology right now." there's, there's no way, because I mean, what he did was unprecedented, man. I don't think I've ever seen that, in top level football. I think I've seen it maybe in like, these clips you see on YouTube of like a game in Colombia, in the second division of Colombia. Some guy fights the ref. Like, sure, semi-professional league, sure, but come on, classical. You wanna pelt the ref with your ice pack, man? They're gonna throw the book at that brother. So yeah, he had to apologize. He had to.
But I do want to add real quick. Uh, I've been very surprised this season by Jude Bellingham because I don't know what has happened to the brother. Maybe it's the number of positions he's played and where he's been from like the last year to this year. In terms of like last season, like he played center forward majority of the season and we saw that he did well. And then this season, he pretty much was been MIA. Like in the when we take it back to not only just this cup final, but we take it back to the two legs against Arsenal. Like he didn't do very well. Like we didn't see much of him, but he's meant to be like this great talent, this great talisman. In the earlier Classico where Barca were doing dances and doing having a good time there when they destroyed them, he also didn't participate as would expect Jude to participate, who I'm a fan of. But all of a sudden now in these games, I was very surprised that he wasn't there. Maybe the light has now shone on another Galactico and it's away from him now. Or like he's still a young player that is still growing. It could also be that like that's why I would stick to the side of like truly believing in the boy. I think he can definitely I think it's also just a learning season for him because when you have someone like as big as Mbappe come in into the team and kind of readjust your position, I think it also did affect the boy. But all in all, like I don't know how it's been there at the Bernabeu. The last 10 days, the chest pains have been quite bad from Arsenal doing what they did and yesterday now losing the final. I don't know. I'm hearing Ancelotti is preparing to go coach Barcelona and potentially Xabi Alonso is going to come in. So maybe it's the start of a new era at Real because this season just hasn't gone to plan. And when you look down the road, they could potentially win the treble and you could win nothing. So even in the league, they're behind Barca. So it's a very interesting thing. Maybe they need to stop signing these free agents. These free agents probably are not cutting it. And you know, when you sign free agents that you don't win stuff. But all in all, great game. I enjoyed the game. It was pretty good. And congratulations to Barcelona for winning the 2025 Copa del Rey.
Yeah, if I look at the Liga right now, Madrid is 4 points behind Barca. So yeah, but yeah, you know what? It did look like a game. I watched the highlights of the game. The goals were raining through. So the goals, yeah, and yeah, I mean, looked like a good showing. So it's unfortunate that Madrid has had to face a lot of heartbreak in the last couple of weeks, with getting out of the champs, losing Copa del Rey final. But hey, maybe they'll save their season and win the La Liga, but I don't know. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen for that either. As a brother once said, eras come to an end. That's famous last words. um, but yeah, I think that's a good place to end the Copa del Rey. Unless if there's any final words from your brothers.
Yeah, just a lot of respect for this boss team. I know I've said it before, but I think what they're doing with these young players is truly unprecedented. Like all these graduates from La Masia just coming in and looking this comfortable at this level. Wow. I wish. I know Arsenal. We've done it a little bit with MLS and Oneri, but I think they have like six of them who've become regular members of the first team this year. Like, it's just unheard of, man. Like, I honestly, like, I wish more clubs did that. Like, I love seeing young players coming from the academy and doing well. So, wish them all the best. I think they definitely deserve this success more than anyone. Definitely doing it the right way.
Yeah, just to echo that, yeah, that's pretty good. Like when you now integrate young players, because when you have to remember, you're not integrating young players at Valencia or Sevilla, you're integrating young players into Barcelona. There isn't like a team where they're gonna go get a loan and then come back and then they're ready. Like for them to just come in straight out, hit the ground running. Kudos to them. And also kudos to like Barca, like Hansi Flick hasn't been in the role long, but like what he's been able to achieve. But I think we should have seen that as much as he had a failed spell at a Germany national team. What he did at Bayern there was truly incredible. Like to just come in and win the treble, beating interesting enough Barca along the way, 8-2. And now he's coaching Barca. Like I don't know if Laporta reminds him of that because it's pretty impressive what he's been able to do, as well as Laporta, man, because Barca has been in financial ruin like the last I don't know how many years. Like they spent close to half the season not able to register Danny Olmo. So being able to have those other things on the side, but also be able to perform on the field is truly incredible. Like with a young crop of players who can definitely develop and grow into the next generation of the great Barca teams. I don't know if they'll be able to replicate what they did in the past, but like kudos to them. Like I mean, it's very impressive what Barca's been able to accomplish in the last, I'd say, year or so.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Well, I think that's a good place to end the pod. Listener, we appreciate you hanging out with the Forest Brothers. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and yeah, let's see what where the season ends there in La Liga. But yeah, anyway, congrats to you, Barcelona. And listener, we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.